The Shade is a villain turned sort of hero in the DC universe. Originally a Flash villain from the Golden Age and later the Silver Age. Really, there's only one Golden Age appearance. Originally, he used a cane to control darkness and shadows. However, he got a really solid retcon post-Zero Hour, which turned him into an involuntary immortal who could wield the power of darkness and shadows. And it greatly expanded his backstory and history. He's one of my favorite characters, and here are 3 comics you should read if you want to enjoy the Shade, or just spend some time with him. Now, I could cheat and just say all of the Starman run that began in 1994 because he's such an important character inside of it and it does a lot of work with him, but let's start smaller. So I'll start with the first Shade miniseries from 1997. It's 4 issues. It was written by James Robinson and has a different artist each issue. It details the Shade's origin as it stood at the time, although it would later be expanded in a second miniseries, and it really focuses on his rivalry through the years with a family that has sworn vengeance against him, the Ludlows. Special shout out to issue 3, which highlights his relationship with Jay Garrick, the Flash, to the point where it almost seems like he has a crush on him, and he also takes on the classic Spider. It's just a series that gives the Shade a very strong voice and characterization. Next, The Flash number 151, Invader from the Dark Dimension, written by Gardner Fox with art by Carmine Infantino. This is from 1965, and it's a multiverse story from that era, so we're dealing with Earths 1 and 2. And you get to see the Shade battle both Flashes. There's just some really solid uses of his powers, and there's just some really amusing banter between him and both Flashes, but particularly Jay Garrick, and it slots really well into the retcon they gave him post-Zero Hour. You can read both, and they feel like they fit. And finally, Hawkman issues 15 to 17 from 2019. The first one's called Darkness Within, Shades of Former Selves. This is from the Robert Venditti run, and it's from a time also when his books had to cross over with a bunch of things. As far as this outing goes, it's good for the Shade occupying his more heroic, I care a lot more about the heroes I fought over the years than I let on position. Although it is still more of a Hawkman story, it's a nice team up between the two where they have to take on the Shadow Thief, Carl Sands. There are so many more little stories out there and little moments, but I just wanted to highlight a few that I really enjoy. Which Shade story/moments are your favorites? If you like the character, that is. And should we do more Rex like this?